Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. All right, everybody, welcome back. Take a little peek there during our warm-up screen. Jeremiah Stutzman, our last week's winner at Las Vegas Speedway. Definitely was a huge upset there for Andrew St. Coeur, who've been on a two-race win streak here. Right now is top of the chart during practice with a solid time of a 27-12. Jonathan Jennings just upset that. Of course, as I said, he must have tuned in the broadcast already with a 27-11 out there on the track. Qualifying should commence here in about another 30 seconds or so, and we'll be ready to rock here at Phoenix Raceway. This track is definitely a tough one for these drivers out here. Many heads will be spinning here tonight. I'm just hoping not too many cars are spinning, seeing that how many vehicles we have out here tonight. I've got 23 drivers, 3 of them yet to put any tires on the track, that being Chris Schaefer, Nick Schell, and Ricky Montgomery. Ricky Montgomery, one of our new drivers, and I believe we have an even newer driver out there, the 146 of Brad Hall, and Charles Robertson there in the 115. Both of those gentlemen will be in Toyotas tonight, and we'll see how well they do. So I got a couple of guys, some new drivers. I'm excited to see what they can put on for our Cup schedule here. So let's go ahead and head already over to the qualifying and see what they're getting ready to get loaded up for. But first, let's find out on our race info what we've got ready here for tonight. So with the Doghouse Racing League that is sponsored by Shoney's, 125 laps, 3 sets of tires will be sitting down pit road for them. The 4th set will be on the car. 60% fuel limit and no fast repairs. This is an open setup league, so these guys have all tested, tuned, and got these cars locked and loaded here for tonight, as that 82-degree track temperature is going to be right on par for exactly what they want these tires to heat up and the exact timing that they get going. So go ahead and shut that. Go and give me some of those times here and take a look at what we've got here. Nobody yet as of so far, but let's try to see if we can find somebody with some speed. I believe Christopher Berger out there, and we'll see if we can find a camera angle to get. There he is. Number 36 Toyota Christopher Berger right now. He's been having a little bit of trouble recently here in the points running. He's been wrecked out a couple of times, but hopefully we'll see Christopher Berger from Turn 1 Racing being able to kind of turn his race around. I'd like to see him get a solid top 5 here. But the Doghouse Racing League puts up a lot of different competition for a lot of these drivers here, and they're definitely having some serious trouble figuring out what else they can do. But a couple of drivers are finally getting some times in, getting that first lap down. Christopher Simon and Mike Leftwich, both these guys with the Shoney's Racing League, being able to get on the chart here so far. 1, 2, and 3. They wasted no time. Definitely the first 3 out there. Both the Leftwiches and Simon sitting 1, 2, and 3 right now. I've got the top podium positions riddled with Chevrolets. Jackson Lomax is going to be the 4th one to be there, and now I've got all 5, now 6. Jacob Reeves right now top of the chart with a fast 27.35, but he ties Chris Leftwich. I'm sure Chris is looking to have a faster time here on his second run. Second lap complete for him. That may do it. Jacob Reeves seeing if he can square for his final lap. And we'll kind of keep an eye on him. Like I said, I wanted to watch out for Andrew St. Coeur. He was fastest during practice by almost a tenth of a second, and that may be just enough to squeak him through. And just as I say that, Jacob Reeves holds 3rd, and St. Coeur, only with his first lap, he's going to run a hot lap. He's going to go ahead and duck on off here. So let's go ahead and see if we can find another driver out there, Nick Schell. Let's see if we can find that 04 Chevrolet out there, see how Nick Schell's doing. All right, Gary Clune should be finishing up his second lap here. 6th place for him has looked like the best he's going to be able to get tonight. Nick Schell's sitting 16th, and that's going to do it for him. Boy, kind of an ugly lap here. Moves up to 15th. Yikes. Got a few more drivers. Jeremiah Stutzman's yet to get out there. He's still working on his warm-up lap. I believe Kevin Powell, our points leader here in the 93 Chevrolet, he is out there trying to get some solid times. All right, Kevin Powell taking a little loop around here so far, getting on his second lap. You see he's taking a little bit different line here. Seems to be slowing down just a bit. He was faster through 3 and 4. Trying to see if he can squeeze just a little more speed out of that car. Don't know if he had some trouble on the first lap, why it was not counted there, but that's going to take him from almost dead last to 10th, so not too shabby. Let's see if we can find Jeremiah Stutzman, last week's winner, out there. Kind of keep an eye on him. All right. Right now, Stutzman right now sitting in that third position. All right, he's rotating. Oh, Stutzman! No, that's exactly what we saw in practice. And, oof. Well, to the body shop for him. That's going to finish him off. So Jeremiah Stutzman, best thing he can hope for is third place. Got to admit, that's at least better than starting at the very bottom here. I don't believe we have anybody else out there on the track with any sort of time. Charles Robertson, nothing there. Eddie Rivers, Ricky Montgomery, and Joey Beck. I don't see anybody putting some times down as of yet. Only about another 20 seconds left in qualifying. That should go ahead and do it for us. All right, a little bit of a warm-up here for these drivers here at Phoenix. So definitely kind of with the way that qualifying went, it kind of switches it up. I'm interested to see, what happens. And kind of these guys will be able to figure out another way around. It really is to be great for everybody to kind of bunch up and take it one shot at a time. We're taking a look at Gary Armijo in the 22 Toyota right now, and then rotating now to Tyler Millette. Tyler Millette moving his way around here, and it's kind of noticing not really a whole lot of speed. Everybody taking a lot easier out here. And I'm wondering if maybe the track temperature has changed on these guys, because you notice how the contact of the wall actually rotating through that turn 1. And the start-finish line between turn 1 and 2 there, the guys are all contacted. So I'm wondering if some sort of track temperature changed here, or if somebody's getting loose, so they're trying to get a little more. So now back to the body shop for some of these drivers. They're going to be trying it again. Let's see if we can find, taking a look at Jackson Lomax and his 96 Chevrolet. All 5 Chevrolets, Powell, Lomax, Wilkerson, Leftwich, and Jennings. Got some solid times out here so far. Pop up some of these deals here. Now Jackson Lomax sitting in that 4th position. Looks like our tower got a little drunk here tonight. We'll go ahead and take a look at our championship points here tonight. Let's go ahead and lock and load, figure out what, kind of where everybody stands here on those championship points. Kevin Powell, Jacob Reeves, and Kevin Thompson. 1, 2, and 3. Jonathan Jennings, he's already got 2 wins up there, and Jeremiah Stutzman sitting 5th. With his last race win, moves him into the 5th person with 1,000 points here on the season. Not too far behind is Chris Leftwich and Andrew St. Coeur, which I'm sure we're going to see a really strong race out of St. Coeur here tonight. I've already got somebody out there in the chat. B-Mac is saying, have a great race, Andrew. So we'll see if Andrew can do really well out there with St. Coeur out there running the way he is. I'm interested to see where Kevin Thompson lands in the grand scheme of things here. But let's rotate through the final few guys that we got here for our points. Chris Schaefer running 11th. Hunter Simpson, he's missed a couple of races here so far. Now sitting 12th. And with Hunter Simpson getting a couple of wins and now slinging all the way back is a real heartbreaker. Gary Clue has been picking up the pace here on his consistency. Now he is 20th, but he missed, I believe, the first 2 or 3 races of the season. So he's going to be kind of trying to chase that back down and continue his charge back forward. Most of the points you see here aren't just wins, it's the consistency. If guys can consistently show up, consistently race, and put some times down here on the track, it should be still show up good for a solid race here. And I'm definitely excited to see what what can come of this, and rotate that on through. But let's see if we can grab a hold of Jeremiah Stutzman here and grab a little piece of him here. Jeremiah, talk to me here a little bit on the track tonight. Last week's win, what do we line up for tonight?
I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, you can do a little better than that. I mean, is the track holding up okay? I mean, you got a 3rd place, but we keep spinning out, heading down the front stretch here.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
All right. Well, what kind of adjustment have you made to try to combat that as we head into the race?
I really ain't adjusted nothing. It's just, I think it's all driver error, and I got to figure it out.
All right,
and
man.
Figure it out quick.
Well, we're going to see if you can be a multiple race winner. This is going to be yours to lose here, man. You're looking pretty hot out there, and let's see what you can do. Good luck to you tonight.
All right, thank you.
I think I got Jeremiah Stutzman caught him a little off guard, but that is A-okay. Points leader Kevin Powell in the lead for the warm-up here, and he's definitely feeling pretty confident here. But warm-up should be completing here, and that's going to move us to our feature race. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get these 125 going. This is going to be a big one here. All right, let's take a look at our starting grid here for tonight. Jonathan Jennings, Andrew St. Coeur in the front row. That's going to be a solid start up there. Jeremiah Stutzman will be 3rd. Jacob Reeves now 4th. Chris Leftwich, Christopher Simon, Gary Clune, and Mike Leftwich will be in your 3rd and 4th row. Starting on the inside of the 5th row, Jackson Lomax on the inside of Daniel Wilkerson. Kevin Peller, points leader, actually starting outside the top 10 here. Looking pretty sketchy for him, but we'll see if he can battle it back forward along another strong driver beside him with Twisted Axle Racing. Kevin Thompson rotating to the back 40 back here. Let's take a look at Tyler Mollett sitting 13th next to Christopher Berger. Matthew Powell in the 15th position. Justin McMahon. Interesting to see him with a starting park. Glad to see him returning back here tonight, 16th position with Nick Schell. Nick Schell starting in the 17th and Gary Armijo 18th. And starting in the back of the 10th row will be Brad Hall, brand new driver here, 19th position with Chris Schaefer in the 20th. Charles Robertson will be 21st. Ricky Montgomery is 22nd. Eddie Rivers 23rd. And Joey Beck at 24th position all the way here in the back, but I do not see him behind the wheel. So I think Mr. Beck, if he is able to get out here onto the track, he will be a lap down, if not more. Pace car is off as they come to the start-finish line here. And that's going to get us going for the race here tonight. Let's take a look at Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Coeur. I'm excited to see what this green flag brings us here. And Jennings is away. St. Coeur pulls on the outside. And the dog leg is going to be the big move here tonight. Really, where does this land, everybody, as they slice through? Seeing how they spread out, taking a look from our broadcast booth here, it is definitely going to need our binoculars to keep an eye on it. No pit stops are going to be a big one here tonight as Jonathan Jennings gets pulled away. His first 2 race wins of the season, and he is yet to win after that. But he's going to be looking to kind of resume and get that back out of the way. See if he can squeak another one. St. Coeur sitting second. Let's rotate back to it. Looks like Jonathan Jennings is pulling away with this one. That Jacob Reeves and believe Christopher Simon, Simon in the 35, 13 of Chris Leftwich, now slicing underneath. Oh boy. Holy cow. Chris Leftwich definitely gets way loose there. Now he's going to be battling next to his own teammate. So both Chris's, Leftwich and Simon, side by side, and they go ahead and straighten it out here as they get a complete lap 2. Definitely a good little battle between these guys. Looks like St. Coeur may be getting a little pressure here from Jacob Reeves in the number 3. Taking a bit of an area. Jonathan Jennings putting some fast times down now. Right now about 4/10 faster than anybody else out there on the field. 27.38 for him, and Andrew St. Coeur with a 27.7. Still, everybody's running fast, and they definitely can't seem to find the right angle here to figure out how to catch up to Jonathan Jennings. If Jennings stays this fast all race, it's going to be tough for anybody to catch him. St. Coeur looks like he gets a little loose, and that seems to be the turn that's causing a lot of problems for a lot of drivers here, especially ones here in the back. Taking a look at Mike Leftwich here in the 60 Chevrolet. Right now, St. Coeur is the only Ford in the top 8. Number 20 machine here on the inside. I believe that's the 20. I believe that is Charles Robertson there. He should be in the 115. That is an incorrect number there, but that is A-OK. We'll go ahead and make sure we keep that Interstate Battery car in our sights here as he's on the outside of Gary Clune. Clune been hot as of lately, and now here comes Chris Schaefer in the 23. If any of you guys tuned in to Simtrack's broadcasting yesterday, he ended up with a 3rd place finish at Atlanta Super Speedway in the Racing Revolution League, so he's looking to see if he can continue his good luck and his great driving as he heads through this track that definitely is being troublesome for some drivers, except Jonathan Jennings, now out to a 2.5 lead here and pulling away. Oh, Schaefer. Boy, he's you know, if there's one place I'm always at, now I have the camera at, is when Chris Schaefer's getting way loose here. And I've always got the eyeballs on him, so I bet you can't stand that. But we're still going to give you a great production here. See how close everything gets as these guys way back up the turn there. There's the right number 20, Justin McMahon. He's up 2 positions so far in his Chevrolet, now 14th. Biggest mover of the race. Charles Robertson there in that 115 in the Interstate Batteries car, up 10. And right now, biggest loser now is Jeremiah Stutzman. I don't know if Stutzman had a problem, but he's now down 4 laps as we're 3 wide through the dogleg. Holy cow. Clune, McMahon slides underneath Schaefer and definitely cuts it much farther. And when they talk in NASCAR that taking that dogleg is a joke, and they say it's absolutely useless, and you pick up no time, I beg to differ because, oh no! Right now, that was it. Gary Clune. Looks like these two had connected between Clune and Chris Schaefer. Definitely not good, and that's going to bring out our first caution here. Let's take a look. I actually want to see what happened to Jeremiah Stutzman first. Let's take a peek. Uh-oh. Yeah, this looks like a little bit of when he got loose out of the turn here. All right, let's add to that caution and figure out what happened. Let's take another look at it top side here, half speed. Schaefer looks like he makes a good cut here in front. I think the 11. Clune makes a little bit of a cut here. Uh-oh. That right there. Clune kind of straightens the wheel. Something tells me, I wonder if he had a wheel lock up. Because you see he slows down and the car straightens out, so I wonder if he hit the brakes a little too hard. Too much front brake bias. He's got nothing left, and I think Clune might be out of it now. Because that looks like a broken toe link there on the side. That is not good here for Gary Clune. So he is most likely down pit road here. And we'll kind of take a peek here at another angle of Jeremiah Stutzman. I know we talked to him earlier about him getting way loose here, and I'm wondering if that is exactly what happened. Let's take a look at the 71 Chevrolet of Jeremiah Stutzman here as he's rotating out of the troublesome turn I saw he was having during practice. Right? Oh, yeah, he's way loose. Heck, even look, the number 9 even hit the wall. So Matthew Powell hit the wall, Stutzman hit the wall. Definitely some cold tires. That is exactly what you're going to see there. 9 of Matthew Powell was able to survive a little better than the rest of them here. That was a nasty spin. I'm going to bring this thing back live here and take a look at where all of our guys, some of our guys did decide to pit. Jonathan Jennings being one of them, Jackson Lomax, Jacob Reeves, Kevin Thompson, Eddie Rivers is still down pit, Chris Schaefer's still down pit, Daniel Wilkerson is down pit. He ended up coming down on the 10th lap. Clune still sitting there. He's over a minute, so is Chris Schaefer. I don't know if these two, if it gets worse for these guys. And I think Stutzman may or may not be out of it here. 4 laps down. And he's still going to be battling this one back to the end, which is quite unfortunate here, but this is going to be pretty tough. Let's go ahead and rotate back up front where our new race leader, Andrew St. Coeur, now resides, behind the pace car. Andrew St. Coeur in first, Chris Leftwich second, Kevin Powell third. He's up 8 positions, not too bad. Christopher Simon up 2 to 4th, and up 8 is Tyler Mollett. Not too shabby out of here as some of those drivers. Battling, some slick tires and not a very hot racetrack. Now, when I was talking earlier about that racetrack being nice and cool, being perfect for the tires, that was after they heat up. I was talking about tire longevity. I didn't mean speediness of them heating up. So these guys are definitely not waiting any time at all, putting the pedal to the metal and really starting to scream out of these turns. And it's just not hooking up the way it needs to be. And some of these guys just aren't able to plant that power. And you really hate to see it because the guys who have been out here practice, getting some solid time in, and getting good setups, have now been kind of wrecked out of the race. Kevin Thompson, 12-second pit stall time for him, back out onto the track. I don't know if he's fixing maybe a little bit of damage, fuel top off, but with the lack of tires here at the race, that is going to be a very tall hill for him to climb here. Let's see where as he's skirting out of pit now. He's got to hurry up to that pile. Hurry. The 17 and the 21. Those are the guys we're looking at here who are in the back. All right, looks like they got caught up to the field. Ooh, 93. Look at Kevin Powell. There he goes. He wants St. Coeur to get going on this one. Does not want to miss this restart as they hit the Geico restart zone. All Andrew St. Coeur on that restart as he gets pulled away. Half a second on that start, man. You wonder what kind of jackrabbit start that was. Somebody call the police. They're going to write him a ticket for that one. All right, away he goes. Half a second over Kevin Powell, who now gets his newly acquired position up 9 with his Chevrolet into second place. Chris Leftwich now into third. Christopher Simon fourth. And Robertson, check this out. 16 positions gained by him in that Interstate Batteries machine. Uh-oh, Tyler Mollett. Oh, still scrubbing the wall just a little bit there and definitely getting way loose here. Yeah, but you see the seesawing back and forth, up, down, up, down. It's definitely hard to find a solid line here. Robertson, as I was saying before, 16 positions up, looking for Christopher Simon next. Simon not moving up as many positions as that, still up 2. Everybody right now in the top 5 has gained at least 1 position here during this race. If you want to give a shout out there to Shoney's, appreciate them joining and coming on board with the Doghouse Racing League. Glad they are sponsoring the league. Definitely they could use all the help they can get if you're considering sponsoring the league or sponsoring some races. Don't forget you can reach out to the Doghouse Racing League there on Facebook, or be able to get a hold of Daniel Wilkerson or Kevin Powell, the guy you see sitting there in second, and be able to go ahead and a little nudge there by Kevin Powell. Looks like he got at St. Coeur a little bit out of shape there, and be able to join the Doghouse Racing League and sponsor a race out here. Alrighty, prepping Michelle out there saying, let's go Christopher Simon. I know he is definitely going a lot better than his Atlanta race. He ended up with a quick spin out there early in the race, ended up totaling out half the field, and I believe it was between, if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Simon and Matthew Robinson. Those two had made contact between each other but it was definitely a wheel spin. Robinson got into the back of him and ended up taking him out of the race. But Christopher Simon remains back up into the top 5, and he's going to try to battle it out and get a solid finish here tonight. Jennings, last pit on lap 10, 15-second pit stall time. Here he is back into 5th. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, they're going to have their eyeballs on that one, how he was able to walk through about half the field there. Still under fire is Andrew St. Coeur. Kevin Powell on the underneath of him here. Waiting to see if Elite Southern Motorsports can drum up a little something against Twisted Axle Racing here. As these guys are going at it on the track. All right, now our Canadian sticks it out here, and I believe Gary Armijo is going to be our caution. He is already down pit here on lap 18. 2 cautions for this race here. And we're going to head to caution and figure out what exactly happened here to Gary Armijo. I don't know if anybody else got caught up in that, but we'll let's take a look. Continue here for Gary Armijo. Let's kind of take a ride above and see what happens to him here. Right there, loose. Boom, into the wall. Now, you wouldn't think that would cause a caution here. But I think this is the problem. He's going pretty slow on the track. I don't know if the woes continue here. Turn 3. Right there. That's what caused the caution, because he towed. And because he towed in the middle, out there on the track, that is going to bring our caution out. So Gary Armijo, I think, would have been better off driving it on around unless he is out of it for tonight. Already over a minute and a half down pit lane for Gary Armijo here. So that is going to probably really ruin his race here tonight. And his moves up the chart. Let's talk a little bit about who has pit and who hasn't. Jacob Reeves has not. Pit on lap 10. Kevin Thompson, pit on lap 12. Everybody else, oh yeah. Down pit for certain. Christopher Berger is now working his way down pit. Brad Hull is in his pit box now. He's getting ready to fix it on up and get back out there. Ricky Montgomery looked like he made it just less than 2 laps. He's done for the night. Joey Beck did not take the wheel here tonight, so I've already got 2 drivers out. I don't know if we'll see Gary Armijo return back to the track. Gary Clune and Chris Schaefer, these guys are both down. About 8 minutes down pit road. Jeremiah Stutzman in the number 71 Chevrolet. He's getting ruined here. Right now, back down pit road again for the 3rd time. Still trying to get some repairs done. So the Phoenix really throwing a curveball at a lot of our drivers here. And trying to figure out the best angle and the best attack. I'm interested to see, you know, if some of these pit strategies here, whether they pay off or not. This is really going to be a big one here. Out there in the chat, picking up some positions. LOL there with Turbo 1.5. All right. I think we got a little bit of spam out there in our Twitch. Pace car lights are off. Jacob Reeves, Kevin Thompson will be in our front row here. Fortunately, if you guys, like I said, if you choose in any other time, oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys and how you feel. Tell me out there in the chat. The choose cone rule, disgusting. I am not a fan of it. I can't imagine why 6 guys choose the outside lane. I go from 7th to now 2nd, and I'm on the inside. You know, on the inside lane. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But it's definitely going to rack them up here again. Let's get going. I do agree with the double restart, though, instead of the old school single file, you know, in the lap cars on the inside. That was kind of a bummer. I do like this double restart, though. be able to get everybody lined, locked, and loaded, ready to go again. Andrew St. Coeur now to 5th. Jonathan Jennings in 4th. Jennings came back down with a just under 6-second pit stall time. So fuel and go for him moves him back in front of St. Coeur. And we are under green again. Jacob Reeves taking the run here. Kevin Powell sitting second with Kevin Thompson. Oh, yeah, baby. Looks like Kevin Powell on the inside gives a little rub there to the 21 machine of Kevin Thompson. And he's going to move him out of the way. A little friendly bump there for the 21. Turn exit speed for him. And now he's going to push it back through the rest of the turn. If you guys remember anything about last race, this is these two going at it. One could not run down the other. This was definitely a wild run. Kevin Thompson was a bolt of lightning out there, but his tires just wouldn't stay with him. Kevin Powell still working it here, now sitting 3rd. Still a respectable spot, but his brother Jonathan Jennings is right on his bumper, and now he's going to reel him in. Chris Leftwich, oh no! Gets way loose in the Jeremiah Stutzman area. He's able to recollect it and get back onto the track and save it here. Jonathan Jennings underneath. Trying to go for the 2-for-1 here. Now he's got it. Cuts this dog leg right in half, slices underneath, and takes the 21 and the 93 and puts them in the rear view. One car left to go, and that's Jacob Reeves, but he's got a second to make up here as Kevin Thompson in the 21. Let's watch Andrew St. Coeur. Looks like Kevin Powell's under fire again. There doesn't seem to be a single lap. That car that doesn't have another car next to his wheels here. Fortunately, these guys haven't made contact, so no cut down tires yet. Kevin Powell not happy about not being able to cut the dog leg on the top shelf for him. 13 of Chris Leftwich. Look at him fired in there. He's holding it. He's holding his own though. There. Oh no, he wasn't. As soon as I said it, look out! Lock him down. Lock him down. Lock him down. Yeah. Excellent job here by Chris Leftwich holding it together. No one else getting involved. Now, anybody else, some people will let off the gas. Some people will, let off the brakes, slide back up the track, and collect the rest of the field. And that had to be the craziest thing out of his windshield. We've got to take a look at that back on the replay here, and we'll be right back, and we'll get a better angle of that. Everybody, we are back. Let's take a ride along here with Chris Leftwich. Let's watch and see what he sees here. Oh. Right there. Oh, man. Way to hold it all together. What a wild run. Yeah, I really want to give a hats off here to Chris Leftwich for not crashing this one and taking out the rest of the field. That was an excellent save here. Flat spot some tires now, so he's going to head down pit road and try to see if he can get probably get another set of tires here. I would probably really gamble what he's doing here. Last time he came down, looks like about a 15-second pit stop time, and we're only 30 laps into this. He's going to run out of tires here pretty quick. Out there in the chat, you don't care for it either. Eric W., hey, man, I appreciate you coming out here. I've been really kind of keeping an eyeball on you out there. You are starting to become one of my favorite viewers out there, along with Timmy the King. You guys have been tuning in almost every single night, and definitely really bringing a great piece of advice and definitely some different angles to the races here tonight. But speaking of different angles, I've got to know what Jonathan Jennings is doing here in that 91 Chevrolet. He came all the way from the back, took tires, offset pit, came for a fuel and go, and now he's back into second. Jacob Reeves might be a sitting duck now. He does not have that comfortable 1 second lead that he had over top of Jennings. Kevin Thompson will be third. And Andrew St. Coeur, his teammate with Twisted Axle Racing, sitting 4th. So these guys 3 and 4, and I believe Gary Clune still might be out of the race as we are looking at about 15 minutes. He's been down pit. Schaefer and I believe Armijo have made it back out. But they are going to be a substantial amount of laps down. Schaefer down 12, Armijo down 10. Stutzman's down 7. So he's going to need, probably, until caution number 10 to get back on the lead lap for him. Car's double stacking. Pace car lights are off. We'll be ducking on off here, and we'll be back underway. Should be ready for this one to go back green. Does take a little bit of a trek to get there. If you guys take a look here at the pace, right where that number 11 and that red line is our start-finish line, you see they kind of put around, and right when we get right in the middle here, we'll look for that Geico restart zone, a nice blue block, and you'll know it is up to Jacob Reeve to take the start, and he does. There he goes. Gets taken off right there, and now they are moving. Right now, check out the dogleg cut. Dogleg cut is one thing, but when the guys slide back up onto the track, that's really where you find out everybody's skill level there, where they can go. But excellent job here by Kevin Thompson, sliding underneath Jonathan Jennings, trying to hold him tight there against the wall, but not having any luck as Jennings, with the turn exit speed, gets back in front of that 21 machine and puts that Ford behind him. 2 Chevrolets in the front, Jacob Reeve, Jennings, and Kevin Thompson will be our first 4. Next time you see Chevrolet is Kevin Powell, who's rotated back to the 6th position now. Only Toyota here, at least in the top 15, is Charles Robertson there. So at least we can show that, other than a Ford or Chevy can have an option of running some solid times here. Oh, yeah. Charles Robertson makes a connection here with Andrew St. Coeur, pushes him up the track there a little bit. He is really... I haven't seen Charles Robertson out here, but he is really kind of making a name for himself already. He has made contact with a few drivers out here, but he's moving up, and I mean up 17 positions now into that 4th spot. Let's rotate back up to Jonathan Jennings. Under fire again by Kevin Thompson in that 21 Ford. Trying to see if he can give a little more of that Great Clips paint to the side of that 91 machine. No can do. We'll rotate our way on back, see how St. Coeur is doing. Justin McMahon, glad to see him back out here. He's having the shot of the night, 7th positions up as he breaks into the top 10. Mike Leftwich is actually on the rollback here, down 2, sitting in the 10th position. Right now, some of these guys kind of wishing they could undo the race. Stutzman, we talked to him earlier about him getting loose. It gets the best of him. He rotates down 15 positions, sitting 18th and down more than about 2 handfuls of laps. Daniel Wilkerson, 14th position for him in the 78 Chevrolet. And you want to talk about guys who are really choosing what vehicles to use. Nothing but Chevrolets in this field here. I mean, 6th through 15th. They're all Chevrolets here, broken up by a couple of Fords and a Toyota, and then back to the Chevys as they move back to the front. So not too bad here. Reeves still holds the lead, up 0.3 of a second over top of Thompson. Thompson's another 0.3 of a second behind. So right now our 1, 2, 3 guys seeming to be pretty calm, pretty steady here. Robertson did come down and get a 16-second pit stall time, just under 17. So definitely a new set of tires for him, and you see him really wearing them in now as the track starts rubbering up. These guys are going to start picking up a little more speed or start settling down, but I have yet to see any settling down here, especially out of Robertson. So nothing as of yet. Everybody kind of starting to take a single file, but even as these single file runs start to really form themselves up, guys are wrecking, guys are smacking into the wall, guys are having different kind of trouble out there. And just then the single car spin outs are just a heartbreaker. But we've had a few cautions out there. Jeremiah Stutzman ended up wrecking, but that did not cause a caution. Gary Clune was part of one of them. They're on lap 8. Gary Armijo and Chris Schaefer were on lap 18, and Chris Leftwich ended up as a single car spin there on lap 27. Might be wrong. I believe that was Gary Clune and Chris Schaefer. Gary Armijo is the one in the 22 that towed on the track. So he was the single car, and Chris Leftwich was the single car. Gary Shaker made contact. Unfortunately, the third leg of the Twisted Axle Racing is pretty much out of the run here. Gary Clune down pit road still for 20 minutes now. Not looking too good as Jackson Lomax started 9th and now was 9th and now back into 10th as Mike Leftwich slides past him here. Leftwich trying to stop the bleeding as he's been marching back some part of this race. Some of this race here, and I was about to say Jackson Lomax is the only driver out there who's yet to move a position, but now that actually goes to Matthew Powell in the number 9 here. We saw him get loose, clip the wall a little bit there. He started 15th. He still is 15th, so probably here, still probably looking pretty good here for him. All right, we're still going at it here. Everybody kind of rotating around. 42 laps here, about to be in the bag, and it's but still going around here. I appreciate you, Eric W. out there saying hit that like button. People, man, I love it. And you know what I love more than likes? Subscribe. I like when people subscribe, man. Definitely gets that number count up. Definitely moves us up in the YouTube amount, and then that way it can go ahead and get me promoted a little more. Start moving it to the top of people's search engines. For certain. Justin McMahon now up to 5th, 11 positions for him. And I'm interested to see what happened to Charles Robertson. Robertson now down pit. Don't know if something happened here. He decided not to pit, but he's now going to be a bunch of laps down here. He is now off-cycle pitting some of these other drivers. 30 seconds in the hole here. I actually want to rotate back and let's kind of see what happened to Charles Robertson here and kind of figure out what happened. Shows him racing alongside of Andrew St. Coeur. And then all of a sudden he starts losing a boatload of positions. Oh. He holds it. Not quite sure here. I think pretty solid. Yeah, you see that number 20 is sliding all over the track here. I don't know if 35 is going to catch him. Yeah, not looking too good. He may be going ahead and checking on out. He is now down pit for almost 2 minutes now. And I would question if something happened because I'm not showing anything where he wrecked out or anything. Yeah, and there's him working his way down pit road. Not seeing where any damage may have taken place, but now Robertson is still down pit road for 2 minutes. Really hate to see that new driver here, and he's really putting on a great show, picking up a lot of positions here, and now he's going to hardly finish this race. 17th position for him. Stutzman may be able to gain a position if that is the case. St. Coeur now to 3rd. Jonathan Jennings still sitting 2nd, and Jacob Reeves right now in that number 1 position. Biggest mover of the race now goes to Justin McMahon, who is now broken into the top 5, sitting 4th in his Chevrolet. That number 20 machine still on a roll here. Andrew St. Coeur would be next that he's looking for. And McMahon with a starting park last week. Definitely looking to really turn his luck around here. 50 here in the bag. 75 laps left to go. Jennings has now gotten the lead away from Jacob Reeves as they rush to the line here. Let's rotate back and kind of see what the battle for the lead looked like here and what made Jennings get around Jacob Reeves. This was the battle for the lead. Jennings with a great line here. Slides right underneath. Jacob Reeves looks like he got a little loose out of one of those turns and then never looked back. Gets the dog leg and is able to make plenty of separation there from the number 3 of Jacob Reeves. So great job by Jonathan Jennings looking to go ahead and get another win here. But in this schedule, it's going to be quite tough. He won at Indy. He won at Chicagoland. He's now looking for one at Phoenix. So far, so good here out of Jonathan Jennings. Jennings looking pretty strong here for the Elite Southern Motorsports team. Jacob Reeves' teammate sitting there number 2. Twisted Axle Racing of Andrew St. Coeur is sitting 3rd. Some of these drivers kind of scratching their head, wondering what they can do here to kind of overturn what we are seeing for this, really what they're battling along here. Jacob Reeves may have fried these tires off as St. Coeur almost strolls around him on turn 4. Rotate through turn 1. Reeves backs up the turn a little bit. St. Coeur shoots on past. McMahon sees where that weak spot is. He is unable to get the front end of this car to rotate. I think some drivers may kind of consider to rotate that brake bias back to the rear brakes to let the front end of the car turn. That is not the case here as McMahon gets pushed to the top side, unable to cut down at the dog leg as he's battling alongside Reeves, which allows now the number 35, Christopher Simon. 3 wide here. Ooh, no. Watch out for Reeves. Reeves trying to hold it solid here as McMahon gets his way around. Finally gets into the top 3. Reeves now back down to 4th, now to 5th. Simon now battling alongside of him. 35 Shoney's Chevrolet moves on around Jacob Reeves, and Reeves is probably praying for a caution because he needs tires. Not looking too good here as lap 10 was the last time Jacob Reeves was down pit road. He had a 15-second pit stall time, so I'm assuming he is he's probably really hoping for a set of tires. I would really be surprised if he took a set of tires there on lap 10. Because he is going to have to stretch these as far as he absolutely can. Seeing that he's only got 2 sets left there down pit. All right, rotating back up front here, only half a second ahead. Mellow Yellow Machine is still out front. And that 91 machine of Jonathan Jennings still so far so good out of Jonathan Jennings. He has this thing on a rail here tonight. Really able to do whatever he wants to do, but longevity, we'll see. As Jonathan Jennings came down on lap 20 for only a fuel and go. Some of these other guys have come down and gotten tires, Andrew St. Coeur being one of them. Back on lap 20 as well, so his tires are about 10 laps fresher. And he's going to really be trying to press his, really enforce his will here on Jonathan Jennings here for just a moment. They now run up on Stutzman. Stutzman in the 71 machine. Jennings underneath. Does Stutzman jam up St. Coeur? St. Coeur gets around him, no problem. And these two are really going to duke it out here for the remainder of this race. But I love the way St. Coeur is running this track. He is all over his rear bumper now. St. Coeur really rocking it. I'm hoping B-Mac out there. Keep rooting on Andrew St. Coeur. St. Coeur is definitely starting to see he's not fighting the car so much. This is looking really, really good. Obviously, no money shifts as of yet. Everybody is sitting in that 4th gear, remaining in 4th. I wouldn't expect Jonathan Jennings to be doing anything different. I'm assuming he would be in 4th gear as well. A couple of drivers are coming down pit. Matthew Powell is coming down pit. Robertson and Armijo are still down pit, almost 8 minutes apiece for them. St. Coeur still trying to find a gap in Jennings' game here as he's running him down as we start lap 61. Not too bad out of St. Coeur here. Both these guys looking for their third win of the season. St. Coeur can get a win here. This will be huge for him. But that moves us to our fourth caution. And Matthew Powell might be in it. Interesting, because Matthew Powell just came down pit on lap 58. And I bet you a set of new tires caused this one. Does he have any damage? Looks like he might be okay. Probably slid out onto the track when he shouldn't have. We have 4 cautions for this race. I've got to admit, not a lot more cautions than I would have expected. So I could probably say the drivers who have yet to pit, all the way from first of Jonathan Jennings to Tyler Mollett sitting 13th, these guys are all going to pit. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Pit lane is starting to heat up pretty good here. As drivers are working their way down, Stutzman's going to stay out and try to at least get one of these laps back. I'll say, even if Stutzman came around here, he shouldn't have gotten the lucky dog. Take a look at St. Coeur and Jennings here. And let's kind of figure out actually what happened to Matthew Powell and see what kind of made this happen here. All right, let's take a look at this. Actually, it shows me Matthew Powell had a problem, but I'm looking at the number 13 here, Chris Leftwich. It looks like he heads through the dog leg here, and something happens. Right there. Boom. Takes a hard shot. But it's saying that was not the caution. It's saying that Matthew Powell had some trouble here. I believe that is... Oof, there's the second shot. Matthew Powell, I guarantee, is down pit road. That is going to do it for him tonight. And Christopher Berger. Boy, you hate to see it. You really do. I mean, that is a heartbreaker here. Look at Christopher Berger. Let's watch him through this whole run. Here's the clink. And probably a broken toe link here. He's trying to get off the racing surface. Has no idea the number 9 is there. So I can't point fingers at Christopher Berger here in the 36 Toyota. That is going to wreck him out there. Boy, this is just, man. He's starting to come at a loss of words. Right now, I've only got 13 drivers here on the lead lap. Everybody else is either totaled, broken, or taking it to the garage. Right now, Beck did not take the wheel. Montgomery, garage. Clune, garage. Brad Hall, Gary Armijo, Christopher Schaefer, all in the garage. Robertson still trying to fix that thing up. 12 minutes down pit. He may be in that box too long. And they may boot him. Jeremiah Stutzman. He's a few laps down here. Not looking too good for him here in that 71 machine, but that goes in and gets him a few laps back here. Christopher Berger now down, freshly down pit. Matthew Powell back out onto the track. How he survived that, I don't know, but I would probably guess that his sponsor had something to do with it. Not looking too good here. Eddie Rivers down 2 laps, and that puts us to Kevin Thompson, the 21 machine that all that speed during the beginning of this race. Now the last driver on the lead lap. Some of these guys will have race control on them as Phoenix has the opportunity of cutting through the pit road area, but Jonathan Jennings says, no, pit road is not what I'm going to cut through. The other half of this track, and that dog leg is what I'm going to cut through, as he slices through right in front of Andrew St. Coeur. St. Coeur doing a good job not taking out the back end of that 91 because he looked like he had the run. So Jennings originally started on the pole here tonight, and Andrew St. Coeur was second. They now resume those positions here on the track as they battle it out here, heading into lap 66. Christopher Simon is up 3, at least making a good showing here for a podium position. But Justin McMahon, if he's been on the move, up 12 positions, looking for that 13th as he sits here in that 4th position. Drivers trying to make a good showing here. Look at the speed. Now remember, everybody is probably on a fresh set of tires here. And it's definitely taken, being an interesting run here. Kevin Thompson is actually the only driver came down, had a 6-second pit stall time. So I'm interested to see if he is the only gentleman out here not on tires. So if he is able to save it here, hopefully he can. Chris Leftwich, remember the 13, he ended up spinning out, but it was interesting because he only had 45 seconds down pit lane. He spun out and made contact with Christopher Berger there and ended up getting wiped out. Right now, taking a quick look through all our drivers, I think the only driver left for Turn 1 racing is Jackson Lomax. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Nick Schell. I think Nick Schell is also out here. Yeah, Nicholas Schell is also surviving as well. Right now, he's sitting 13th. So hard charging for these guys tonight. Once again, Turn 1 Racing gets hammered out there. And there's absolutely nothing left for them to really kind of show up and put on a show here. Because these guys have just really been dealt a bad hand here the past few races. So the advanced auto parts Ford still trying to run down Jonathan Jennings, but he's almost down by a second here. As they continue rotating through, Justin McMahon now up to 3rd, Kevin Powell up to 4th. Christopher Simon just fell down to 5th. So Jacob Reeves is going to be the next one trying to run him down. I believe Eddie Rivers is back down pit. 15 Chevrolet of Eddie Rivers back down pit. And that's going to be hard for his team. They came out here for a good showing here tonight. That MGM machine is going to be down and out here. Might be fighting just way too much damage. Let's rotate back out to the outside where Jacob Reeves is trying to get back into the top 5 here. Right now, originally started in that 4th position. Mike Leftwich started 8th, still hanging out in 8th. I know we keep talking about him as we rotate through about his 60 Chevrolet. How he's rotating around more around that 11-12 area, but he's now a little deeper into the top 10. Looking, kind of picking them off one at a time. Jackson Lomax will be the next one he's looking for. Chevrolet's owning this field here. St. Coeur the only Ford in the top 10. Andrew Pratt out there saying he thinks Kevin pitted twice under yellow. Right now I'm showing him as a 4 pit count. So you are correct. Kevin Thompson had pit twice. I wasn't sure as to why. I was hoping he was getting an extra splash of fuel, maybe to try and stretch it just a little bit. Andrew Pratt, you must be our eyes in the sky, man. Appreciate you making sure you flew in for that. Let us know exactly what's going on here. Already halfway through this race. These guys are still going around. Let's give a little shout out from our sponsor and we'll be right back. The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food, along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared, legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. All right, we're taking a look back at it. Stutzman in the wall. Oh, no. Stutzman, as we come back from commercial break, I was just about to thank you guys for sitting there for a shout-out from our sponsor, Shoney's, for the Doghouse Racing League here. Stutzman all over the wall here, trying to stay out of out of everybody's way, but that was a tight squeeze there. We saw with Chris Leftwich, Christopher Simon squeaking by. That was running out of a lot of room, and that real estate just was not there. But Jonathan Jennings with a fantastic run here tonight with a 2-second lead over Andrew St. Coeur, and it looks like, I think, Jonathan Jennings, if this keeps up this exact way for the rest of the race, we are about to see our triple winner here of Jonathan Jennings here for the run. Now, I will say, via our championship points, that is not going to put him into the lead, as Kevin Powell's consistency, once again, is keeping him into the top. And talking about Kevin Powell, 93 Chevrolet, now sitting third. He overtakes Justin McMahon. Now he's got a little bit of that door. Oh, yeah. Hold on, Justin McMahon, as McMahon's now getting hammered around. So McMahon goes from 4th place now all the way down to 5th. Holy cow. Now he's about to lose another shot. McMahon down to 6th. So what a wild shot that was. Looked like Kevin Powell shot the gap. Got underneath of Andrew St. Coeur, moved him up the track. So now St. Coeur falls down to 3rd. Jacob Reeves and Christopher Simon overtake Justin McMahon. And McMahon now trying to battle back into the top 5 after his hard charge this entire race. McMahon now cutting the dog leg underneath Christopher Simon here in the 35. Two Chevys side by side as they rotate through the turn. Let's see if they can get a little more. Only got about a fender on him. Christopher Simon's still holding him. Loses it. So McMahon now gets back into the top 5, and still really, how much pressure is he putting on these tires? Because he's got to make these ones last. I would assume probably one more pit around about lap 105 is when we see these guys come back down. Everybody pit on lap 62. So that pit window may open up somewhere between 93 and 105, and that is a rather wide window. But some of these guys, depending on fuel, are going to try to stretch it to the end or pit early and then run and gun. Jonathan Jennings now out to 3-second lead over top of Kevin Powell. And when Kevin Powell and Andrew St. Coeur got together, that allowed Jennings to just squeak a little farther out there. And I think the only thing that's going to slow Jennings down is a bad move, contact with the wall, or lap traffic, which really there isn't any. Most of our lap traffic is down pit, where Jeremiah Stutzman is now revisiting. For the last minute and a half, he has been in his pit stall. 13 drivers still on the lead lap here. Some of these lap drivers are still rotating around the track, but I do not see any. Everybody is down pit. I've only got 13 drivers on the track. Eddie Rivers, Kevin Powell have taken it to the garage. Christopher Berger still trying to fix that thing, almost 12 minutes. And Robertson, 21 minutes. So his night is going to be over. 19th position is going to be the best he can look for tonight. And I really got to admit here, the Doghouse Racing League does great races, and I don't think this seems like a whole lot of car-to-car issues. This is a track and car issue. This is a driver and track issue. And this track has really, gone out there and just beaten these guys up, and these cars just can't handle the long run, and they're just wrecking out. And it's really hate to see it here, but some of these guys just getting kind of smoked out here. I believe that is Stutzman back out onto the track. He's trying again to see if he can squeak a couple more laps in. He is not going to be able to get all his laps back, though. Stutzman's down 14. He's trying to get this thing going again. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see if anybody out here is looking to kind of start putting on a little more pressure, trying to see if they can run down Jonathan Jennings, who's just so far ahead. We can see if we can take a look out the back. Maybe somebody will come in there. There we go. We're going to need the Hubble Space Telescope to look back there at Kevin Powell. All right, we'll take a look here. That is Jonathan Jennings still leading this race, and right now he has got the car to beat. I know Jennings and Powell work very hard together to try to duplicate the same setups. But sometimes pit strategies or different type of lines are going to change the way these guys race. Andrew St. Coeur sitting 3rd. McMahon is 4th. Jacob Reeves is 5th. So McMahon able to recover and get back into the top, farther in the top 5 again. right, looks like a little pressure is actually coming to Jacob Reeves here. Jackson Lomax is trying to run him down in his Chevrolet. Jackson Lomax, like I said, our lone stander here in the top 10 for Turn 1 racing. Trying to see if they can get a little more going on here as 88 laps have been completed here at Phoenix Raceway. What a wild run this has been here so far. Trying to trying to wrap some of this up. Stutzman ended up getting in some trouble. Gary Clune made contact there with Chris Schaefer there on lap 8. Gary Armijo ended up having to tow after some contact there with the wall on lap 18. Chris Leftwich ended up in a spin out there that collected a couple of drivers on 27. And Matthew Powell ended up in some trouble on lap 59. So a couple of cautions, about a handful of cautions here tonight at Phoenix. And this has definitely been quite the run. And I got to admit, 35 laps left to go in this one. And some of these drivers have now got to be having very intimate conversations here with their crew chief about when to pit. I mean, this is going to be a huge call here, and it could make or break the race. It's unsure whether, you know, what they decide to do. Is it going to be pit now? Do we wait another 10 laps? Do we pit later? I mean, these cars are definitely capable of that 35 to 40 mark on fuel. But seeing that we pit on lap 62, most of these drivers, that time is coming, and 91 laps are down, so 92 is that 30 mark. We'll have to see how long they can stretch it here, but it seems more of what tonight has been is tires. Tires, because the lack of traction, the lack of speed now from some of these drivers is just, the fall-off is pretty intense. I mean, let's talk about, I hate to pick on him, Mike Leftwich. You know, back here in the 60 Chevrolet. His best time was a 27, I believe a 27.47. He's now running at 29.18. I mean, this is almost a 2-second fall off here. I mean, they have really got to kind of figure out what's the best way. Tyler Mollett, 27.63 is his best time. His last time was a 29.5. So a 2-second fall off. But some of these drivers, you can tell which you would think Jonathan Jennings would be burning the tires off, but his conservation is perfect. 27.3 for him. His last time was a 28.5. So he's not falling off nearly as much as half these other drivers. He's only off by 1.2 while these other guys are creeping over that 2-second mark. Very, very, very tough here for a lot of these drivers as to what they are going to do. You know, I mean, 4 tires I would assume is a must. Right now, the person screaming for tires I know is going to be Kevin Thompson, but he ended up taking a little bit extra fuel. So he's going to hang out there just a hair bit longer, and then they're going to choose. So lap 94, Jonathan Jennings decides he's coming down pit. Kevin Powell as well. St. Coeur is now going to take the lead. And watch them go through. So as long as Jonathan Jennings does not speed down pit road, he should be A-OK. St. Coeur going ahead and pulling away with this one. Next back will be McMahon, behind by about 2.5. Christopher Simon following along. Jacob Reeves now up to 4th. Chris Leftwich 5th. We still have pit stops. So Jennings, Powell, and Mollett have all pit, and we are under caution, and this is going to be huge. These guys are now laps down, and Jennings might be out of it here. If Jennings is able to squeak back out, he might be able to get the wave around, as everybody else has to pit. This is wild. Right now, I'm showing Stutzman again might be in some more trouble here tonight. As it's showing he may be the caution here on lap 81. Oh, well, lap 81 is what he's on. So let's cut to caution and see exactly what happened here. All right, everybody, we are back. Let's take a look at Jeremiah Stutzman and see what happened here. And kind of take a peek over top as you see him all along that line. Bro, he hit the paint. Oh, he hit the paint. Rotates back up the track, and because his car goes in reverse, that's going to be the caution. So, not good here for Jeremiah Stutzman. The woes continue. I'm wondering if he's considering keeping that thing down pit road here. Jeremiah Stutzman now down in pit. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get back down there. Let's take a look back at our new leaders. Now, Justin McMahon in the front pit on lap 96, St. Coeur second. And Jennings, lead lap. Wow. So I guess he was able to get out along with Kevin Powell and Tyler Millette. But they're going to be in the back of the pack here. So they got out while everybody else pit. Those three were behind the pace car, and they're going to get the wave around. All right. McMahon first. Andrew St. Coeur at least remains in second. If I were St. Coeur, he may want to try to pass McMahon as soon as he can and try to run this out to the end. He'll have about 25 laps to stay out in front. As we saw, St. Coeur may have had the loss. Really, that's all he was having. Was not going to get the win here. He may have the chance, but McMahon has been strong all the race. 15 positions gained by him. And not too bad, you know? Being able to start way that far back and getting another shot, that is going to be definitely a wild shot by some of these drivers. I'm interested to see. I mean, McMahon starting outside the top 10, now leading this one. This is going to be huge here. All right, pace car is off as it's ducking on down pit road. Watch that 35 machine, Christopher Simon. He's going to be looking to get a good restart here. Showing his drivers sitting right now 3rd and 5th. Christopher Simon and Christopher Lefkowitz. 35 in the 13 machine. Jacob Reeves on the outside. Watch for him to be kind of hooking up with the man here. Twisted Axle Racing with St. Coeur and Kevin Thompson. Away we go. Huge cut of the dog leg here, and look at the difference. Look at the difference he is able to pull away. St. Coeur is now going to be chasing him here as Christopher Simon now moves into second. Outside line for the number 12 machine. Remember, fresh tires, so let's see how many guys can stay on the track or who gets loose and totals out here. Stutzman did make it back out onto the track. On the sideline again for St. Coeur. St. Coeur's got to break free of him here if he wants to cut this dog leg. Inside line for Reeves. Reeves taking a huge shot here. There's St. Coeur. Goes ahead and bumps that 35 machine out of his way. St. Coeur now gets back into second, but he has got a very fast Justin McMahon out front. St. Coeur's fastest time tonight has been a 10th second faster than him, so let's see if they can run him down. St. Coeur backs up the turn as Reeves dives it in. Reeves has been a leader here of the race, so he knows exactly what he needs to do with only 24 laps to go in this one. McMahon still leading out front. St. Coeur second. Jacob Reeves, we notice him here on out the side, looking out the passenger window at the number 12 as he passes him. But St. Coeur looking out his netting, going ahead and waving by as he goes right back past him again, and it looks like Kevin Thompson is into the wall here, no caution. Kevin Thompson might be out of it here. Huge shot to the left side of his race car. Not good here out of Kevin Thompson. So the only, Kevin Thompson rolling the 21 great clips. I'm sure the clip to the wall is not the one he was hoping for here. Chris Lefkowitz now on the outside of Jacob Reeves. Reeves now under fire here by Christopher Simon. Simon trying to put on a little pressure. So both the Chris's from Shoney's Racing working on Jacob Reeves here. and allowing St. Coeur to try to run down McMahon. St. Coeur only back by about half a second, so he's still within reach. But can McMahon reach out and get a win this season? We'll see, because he's got 22 laps to see if he can do it. So far, so good. We are keeping our eye on the side-by-side racing we're seeing here with Reeves. Reeves dives it into the turn, has to check up to rotate the rest of the way through. Leftwich sees it and keeps it under the above the line as Reeves drops below. Keeping an eye here on these two. These guys are racing something hard here. Reeves trying to find a little more squeaky room, and he gets it. Clears him. Puts him in the rear view and is now going to try to run down Andrew St. Coeur, but with all that battling, he has lost almost a second, about half a second here to Andrew St. Coeur. St. Coeur still trying to run down McMahon, but not having any luck. With this short run speed, Andrew St. Coeur has been a lot better in the long run. So when will the tires take effect for these two? 13 to Chris Leftwich trying to take a peek underneath of Jacob Reeves again where the fresh air is, but no can do. So far, single file. Let's rotate back. Daniel Wilkerson up 3 positions, now 7th. Kevin Powell. Hate to see his 93 Chevrolet way in the back, but Jonathan Jennings now 6th. But definitely the new tire model for these next gens is not taking any effect on his driving style at all here. Jackson Lomax sitting 9th. Mike Leftwich in the 10th. Tyler Mollett is 11th. Nick Schell. Too bad on Nick Schell here. 12th position for him. And our final lead lap, on the lead lap driver is Kevin Thompson sitting in that number 21. So after the clip to the wall there, he's still trying to put on some great time out here. Picking up the pace. He is caught behind Schell and Mollett. I believe that is Christopher Berger that is still rotating behind him. Yes, it is. Christopher Berger with a huge shot there earlier in the race. Able to get back out there after a long, long time down pit road, about 14 minutes. Let's rotate back up front here where it looks like Andrew St. Coeur might be seeing the wind slip away here as Jacob Reeves is reeling in the number 12. Drivers kind of clutching together. McMahon getting a runaway with this one. St. Coeur and Reeves 2 and 3, only separated by about a car length. Christopher Leftwich and Christopher Simon separated by about 2 car lengths. That is the battle for 4th and 5th. And Jonathan Jennings leading in front of his brother Kevin Powell by about 3 car lengths, and that's for the 6th and 7th position. But I'm not marking Jonathan Jennings out yet. We've only got 16 laps left to go here, Phoenix Raceway. And some of these drivers are starting to really, all right, well, we got tires, we got fuel, it's a level playing field, and now let's kind of figure out who can kill each other here at the end. So that's exactly what we're seeing, is that McMahon capitalized on his pit stall time with a 14.93, one of the faster times out there in his pit stall, and was able to squeak out in front of everybody else. And a timely caution that ended up putting Jonathan Jennings, Kevin Powell, and Tyler Mollett in the backfield. But only the two of Jennings and Powell, the 2 drivers, Jennings and Powell, and their Chevrolets are broken back in the top 10. Mollett is just having a hard time getting hooked back up and finding some sort of speed here to get back into the top 10. Unfortunately, Mollett has started 13th, but nothing yet. Laps left to go, 13 when we get to the line. McMahon still leading this one, and everything looks pretty calm here at the track. Everybody's really kind of staying single file. No battles heating up as of yet. I'm waiting to see when Jennings decides to open it up again and try to run it a little bit back down. 2 closest drivers right now, I believe, are Jennings and Powell, and I think Jacob Reeves is trying it again here with St. Coeur. St. Coeur with no luck. St. Coeur just trying to squeak out just a little more here. Now, I will say, you know, looking at St. Coeur and Reeves here, St. Coeur's got a better 3 and 4. They're exactly identical between 1 and 2. So whatever it is, St. Coeur is not getting broken away from Reeves. Ooh, Reeves reels in the number 12 of Andrew St. Coeur. And no room to go. So Elite Southern Motorsports for Jacob Reeves. Not finding any luck to get around Andrew St. Coeur. Justin McMahon with Loud Pedal Racing looking to see if he can put a win up for their team this year. And so far, he's got 10 laps to figure it out and go ahead and put this win away. But with a 1.5 second lead, he may have it in the bag. I think the only thing that's going to slow him down is an untimely yellow flag again. But that may work out actually perfect for Jonathan Jennings, who's actually trying to sneak into the top 5 here. Christopher Simon under fire. Simon now having to use the left mirror of his race car to look out the back, seeing that 91 mellow yellow machine is on the inside, now to the outside. Definitely Simon's going to be getting sick of watching that car moving behind him. Fortunately, he is keeping his eyes out the windshield as he makes contact. As Chris Leftwich makes contact with Reeves, and now the battle's heating up. Let's take a look out the back. Take a look at Jonathan Jennings trying to see if he can find a little more fresh air here. We're seeing Chris Leftwich having to march out of this one. He now falls down to 6th. Jennings now top 5. Man, you kind of wonder what in the world is going underneath the hood of that 91 machine. How he's able to get so much speed for so long. The St. Coeur just can't seem to figure out how to catch McMahon. And St. Coeur is now down to about 2 seconds behind. Not too bad. He's still going to get a top 3 position here. Doesn't look like Reeves has any more tires left to run him down. He's behind him by another half a second. Christopher Simon still trying to stay in front of Jonathan Jennings. Jennings had to back up the turn pretty bad there, as Chris Leftwich has fallen down to 7th. Yeah, these guys are definitely getting way loose out there. Somebody who is getting loose is Chris Leftwich in the 13 Chevrolet. Still trying to battle out here with the Shoney's machine. Christopher Simon, another Shoney's Racing driver, trying to get back on Jacob Reeves. He's trying to see if he can push for a podium position here. He qualified 6th here in the race, looking for 3rd. 7 laps left to go in this one, and it's definitely getting tight. McMahon still driving away with this one, and it's probably going to be a race winner here at Phoenix Raceway. And what a great drive he put on here tonight. Interesting to see. I've got to ask him what happened to his qualifying and why he started so low. 2 seconds over everybody else, so we're keeping an eye here on Reeves. Reeves and Christopher Simon here. Oh, 91 of Jonathan Jennings gets in the wall a little bit. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, there you go. Block me one more time, Christopher Simon says as he rearranges the rear bumper of Jacob Reeves' Chevrolet. So those two are going to head to the body shop after this one. And now Jonathan Jennings sees a huge check up there with Christopher Simon. And now they're going to be able to see if they can squeak another Elite Southern Motorsports team member toward the front. Let's see if Jacob Reeves has to back up this turn quite as much as he did last time. As you see Jennings dive it way deep into the turn, knocks Christopher Simon out of that 4th position. And Kevin Powell trying to see if he can get another shot at it while the door's open. Sticks a foot in, got a fender on him here, loses it. 35 slides underneath, almost 3 wide. Kevin Powell backs it up. Not too bad. I give it hats off here to Christopher Simon, really putting his gloves up here, and he's wanting to duke it out with Jonathan Jennings. Slides underneath, sees if Jennings looks to dive it into the turn. Chris Leftwich sends Kevin Powell out of the way there, and I think Leftwich went ahead and forfeit the place. Seeing how he slid into that turn. Let's rotate back up front where Jennings is trying to hold off Christopher Simon. Simon not happy about losing that position here. Simon's battling along with Jennings. 3 laps left to go. Justin McMahon pulling away with this one, 2-second lead. Not too bad here. Jonathan Jennings looks like he may have been able to conquer, but is he going to go for 3rd position? Jacob Reeves has got to be getting nervous. Let's take a look back at these two. Oh yeah, there we go. You see, looks like Christopher Simon trying to send it in there a little deeper, trying to run him up, but no can do. Spotter says it's clear. Jonathan Jennings moves in front. Jennings sending it. Here he comes. No contact. So close. So close. Excellent job here by Jonathan Jennings. You're seeing how he drives here. This is going pretty wild. Let's take a ride on the gearbox of Jacob Reeves as we are on the final lap. rotating toward the top. Everything looking good here so far. And Justin McMahon takes the win here at Phoenix Raceway. Congratulations here to Justin McMahon with the win. Let's rotate back to Jonathan Jennings, who undercut Jacob Reeves and got him. Wow. Let's rotate back to the final pass here for that third position. Yeah, got the fender on him. Jacob Reeves couldn't hold it. Man, oh man, oh man. Wild run. Congratulations to Justin McMahon. Coming up with the win on this one. Taking a look at our race winner, Justin McMahon, frying the last of those tires off here. Let's go ahead and show you what our race results ended up being here in the end. McMahon with Loud Pedal Racing getting in the front, St. Coeur sitting second. Jonathan Jennings ended up third. He overtook Reeves for that fourth position. Reeves did take fourth, and Christopher Simon, unfortunately, in that 35 machine, was unable to run him down. But still a solid top five. Not too bad. B-Mac out there who was rooting on Andrew St. Coeur ended up in a second position. Not too bad. And then we'll rotate through the back half of the field. Some of the guys are maybe hanging their head after this one who end up a bunch of laps down here. All right. That's going to do it here. And let's go ahead and find our drivers here, as it looks like I believe he is found. Yes, he has. He is found. Winner's victory lane. Congratulations. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we'll be right back, and let's try to run these guys down. All right, everybody, we have chased him down, definitely with as much speed as he had on that last lap, overtaking Jacob Reeves. We have caught up with him. Jonathan Jennings in the 91 Chevrolet. Talk to me about this race, and probably the untimely caution is going to be one of the things that's top on your list here tonight.
Oh yeah, that one hurt.
Well, definitely, it was wild, man. You were so fast during this race. You qualified on the pole. You led by almost 3 seconds over Andrew St. Coeur. Just couldn't seem to run you down. You know, I know the cautions were something tough, but what made you, Kevin Powell, and Tyler Mollett decide to come down and pit at that time during the race?
Well, I made a decision to split the race in half, but I mean, we was in a good little run there. Seemed like it was gonna go green, but didn't expect a car that many laps down to bring the caution out.
Yeah, it was definitely tough, and especially after a last race winner, man. It was definitely a wild one for him tonight. I know he's kind of hanging his head after this one, but he'll still have a chance to battle it out next week at Atlanta. Talk to me a little bit about the tires tonight. How crucial were tires here at Phoenix?
Oh, they're always crucial here at Phoenix. It eats them up.
All right, man. Well, we head to Atlanta. I thought you may have been able to squeak just a little bit here and have the opportunity to come away with your third win, but we got Atlanta coming up, and kind of what's the key to being fast and maybe giving that triple shot here.
That's New Atlanta, right?
I'm not sure. It's saying Atlanta Oval Speedway. I'm not seeing where it says the '08 version. So if it is the Super Speedway, that should be even crazier.
Yeah, I think it is New Atlanta. Yeah, I have a better chance hitting Powerball.
All right, Jonathan Jennings, give me shout outs here.
You guys for the broadcast, Daniel and all the admins for putting all these races together, and all my teammates for the hard work. It pays off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Every single day, man, putting the time in. Congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, right. That moves us to Andrew St. Coeur, our second place finisher here tonight. Definitely was a wild one here. Andrew St. Coeur, B-Mac had been rooting you on here tonight. Second place finish could have gone better for you.
It obviously can go better when you have one spot in front of you. Yeah, I kind of hurt myself obviously on that last pit stop. I slid my pit box and lost the battle on pit road. I think that was the key. It's so hard to pass here, as you could see throughout the run. If you're running high through 1 and 2, for people to get under you is darn near impossible, especially if you pinch them off. You can't get that run down the straight on the low side. And as soon as I got behind Justin and he had that clean air, and obviously we had different setups too. I mean, there was a lot of the guys out there tonight that were faster than me clearly on short runs. And anyway, I'm going to congratulate him for a great win. So.
Yeah, we did notice that up here in the booth, and I did let our viewers know that you were more of a long-run car. I was unsure on the pit on lap 96 if 25 laps was going to be enough laps for you to be able to run him down. I think you maybe another 10, 12 laps, McMahon may have started losing a little bit of that tire life, and that's where you would have been able to capitalize. But definitely a wild run here tonight. Was there anything other than sliding through the box? Because I do see your time, about 16 and a half. His was just under 15. So that second and a half loss was pretty tough, but it seemed the restart and his line. How crucial was the dog leg tonight?
I personally don't like the dog leg. I just find it too risky, and maybe it's the setup I have just built too low, where I find the handling just gets away from me periodically going through the dog leg, and so I tend to not cut it as much as a lot of them, and I was watching that, the lap times, and there were times that I was losing a tenth, 2/10 in that one spot on every lap for a period of time until my car kind of came back in a bit. And what I mean by that is I was able to get on throttle earlier, in coming out of 4. I was able to get on pretty quick. I had really good rotation there, and by doing that, I was able to kind of level out the advantage that they were getting on the cutting the dog leg. But short run, like you alluded to, I just couldn't, and that was all gearing. And I knew I could hear the RPMs and the cars beside me, behind me throughout the run, and they definitely had something figured out on the gearing that I didn't. So that I think that was the big difference maker for the short run speed.
Yeah, it definitely was a great run here, man. All right, I believe we were talking to Jonathan Jennings a little earlier. The New Atlanta, I think, is where we end up. I don't know. I'm unsure on that. I think
100% New Atlanta next week. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Man. So what do you think? You got less than 100 laps there. What's the confidence level heading there?
Kevin and I are pretty jacked for that one. So we hopefully, I think the key there will be, well, there's two philosophies, I guess, qualify out front or run around the back. I don't know how long we want to run on the high line 3/4 of the way back through the field.
Right.
So the risk reward there is not very good. So I think you get out front, you kind of control it. You have some, if we can work together, I think that'll be key. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. I do feel we've already been working on some stuff, and from a quality perspective, I feel like we can qualify very close to the front, and if not up front. And for the race trim, yeah, no, it feels good. So anyway, yeah, I mean, but anytime you get to a super speedway, I guess that's the new super speedway. It's kind of, you just never know, but it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely good news is that they fixed the net code there at the Atlanta Super Speedway. Last night, I did broadcast for the Racing Revolution League. Outside line was the most dominant as long as you have draft partners. Andrew St. Coeur, can't wait to see what you can do for us next week, man. Give me your shout-outs here.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for putting on another great broadcast. Thanks, Daniel, and the other admins and the competitors in the league. Always a lot of fun, and always also got to thank my team, Twisted Axle, and a shout out to BMAC. Appreciate you watching every week. Thanks, Mom.
Alrighty. I believe you and Kevin Thompson were both top 10. I believe your newest guy, Gary Clune, got a pretty wicked lick here tonight, and that ended his night, unfortunately. But I will catch you next week. St. Coeur, congratulations on your second place finish tonight.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, everybody, as Andrew St. Coeur already taking a look out there. We're going to go ahead and run down Justin McMahon here. Jackson Lomax, thank you for the broadcast. Patrick, hey, man, no, thank you for coming out here and running a great race. I noticed that my logo is out there on your car. And Timmy, dude, you are so late. So late, my man. All right, next time you'll see us as the Graceland Shootout Series. But go ahead, let's try to run down Justin McMahon here. Justin McMahon, what a run. Some say that caution was untimely, but I got to tell you, man, 15 positions gained for you. It was right on time.
I loved it. It was perfect. Couldn't have planned it better myself.
All right. Well, it seemed to be everything the winnings were going. Indianapolis and Chicago, Jonathan Jennings won. Kentucky and Daytona, Hunter Simpson won. Atlanta and Auto Club, Andrew St. Coeur, Jeremiah Stutzman. This should have been a Stutzman one, but instead you break the cycle of 2, 2, and 2, and you come away with the win here at Phoenix. Dude, talk to me about what was the best part about the race here tonight.
Man, I mean there was a lot of battles, all the way from the back all the way to the front. Just the way the cars handled on the end of a run really changed the driving styles for guys, and it was kind of had to figure out where other guys were running and be able to catch them and pass them. You could catch them, but it was one thing to get by them there. I don't know, my car got really loose at the end of the run there in that last pit stop where everybody came down pit road. The one that unfortunately got Jonathan and Kevin caught at the tail end because they pit right when that caution came out. So I made a few adjustments and tightened it up a little bit for me in the run, and the rest is history from there. I was just hoping to fend off St. Coeur because I know that he had him and Simon had I think it was Simon Simpson.
Yep. Yeah, Christopher Simon was out there tonight.
Simon, yeah, both of those guys seem to have a really good long run car. So I knew that if I got out front in clean air, that it might be a little bit easier for me to fend them off. But I knew if they got door to door with me or whatever, I knew that they were going to be hard to beat in the end. But luckily, those couple adjustments that I made worked out.
Yeah, well, it was definitely the right adjustments. What adjustments do you need to make coming off the open dogleg style here at Phoenix Raceway to the super speedway of Atlanta next week?
Oh boy, I mean, these are two drastically different racetracks, especially now that Atlanta is more of a super speedway style. I'm not really sure.
I was gonna say no net code though.
That is valid.
Yes. No more of that getting hooked into the wall like you're on a fishing line.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't know. I know in the past when we ran Atlanta in the last season, the car would get a little loose on the top side. So I will see how it goes. Short tracks to super speedway tracks. I mean, I seem to like them both. I feel like I have the ability to be able to compete for the win for that. So I don't know. It's going to be a roll of the dice there. So we'll see what happens. Good qualifying spot would probably be better.
Oh yeah. Well, that was definitely a run here tonight, man. What a way to go at it. And I'm excited to see, where this lands you in the points. And, you got some lead laps in here. I don't know if you got the most lead laps, saying that you got it right here at the end, but it was definitely a mashup here. Justin McMahon, congratulations on your win here tonight. Give me your shout outs.
Yeah, thank you. I want to give a shout out to Group 6 Interactive for the sponsor on the car. Daniel for putting on the league, and you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys always do a great job. It's really good having you guys on this season. It's been a lot of fun to go back and watch the races. And all the guys at Loud Pedal Racing and the other guys on the, like Jonathan and Kevin and Hunter and those guys that we all practice together and help each other out when we can and try to keep some stuff secret. But yeah, those guys are the ones we want to thank and shout out to them. So that was good. I'm happy. I'm excited.
All right, Justin. Man, we will see what you can do at Atlanta because, like you said, that is a completely different track. But congratulations on your win tonight. Enjoy your celebration.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, I do want to give a shout out there to Justin McMahon as well. Can appreciate him joining in on all of our broadcast. K-Doggy out there is also saying thanks for the great broadcast as well. Hey, appreciate you guys joining in. Don't forget to tell your friends. Get a couple more subscriptions. I noticed we have broken that 250 mark. I am so excited to see that, seeing that we are less than a year into this. So I got to say, it must be my silky smooth voice that's really hooking you guys, or maybe it's some of the great racing that we're putting out there for you guys as well. SimTracksBroadcasting.com is where you can find all of our past races as well as this one as soon as we get signed off here. But speaking of signing off, that is going to do it for us here tonight after a wild run here at Phoenix Raceway with the Doghouse Racing League. We head to Atlanta next week. Next time you'll see me is Saturday with the Graceland Shootout Series and the ever-known The Big Show on Sunday for the wild run that they're going to have for the Super 450 at Kansas Motor Speedway. Guys, don't go away, but tune in at that time. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be well, be safe, be kind, and I'll catch all you guys next time.